What is the deal, Reapers? What is the deal? It's Devontae. This is Reaper Training. This is the Reaper Motivation Podcast, and we are coming right back at you guys today with some very, very important and helpful topics to get you guys on your way. Now, if you guys remember from the first podcast, I got into the Reaper mentality, and I basically gave you guys a rundown what the Reaper mentality is. Basically, the ambitious individual, the individual who refuses to allow society to tell them where they should go in life and how they should live their lives. We don't want to be worker bees. We don't want to get on that track that's just going to take us to where everybody else wants to go. We want more for ourselves. We believe that God has put us on this earth to be more than somebody who goes to work for 40 years and dies, who just lives to pay bills and go into debt. We believe that God has put us on this earth to make changes, to be something different, to be something outside the norm. Freedom of thought. God gave you guys freedom of thought, and that's something that we decide to utilize to the fullest of our capabilities. The Reaper mentality is something that's gonna ultimately liberate our minds from this just cookie cutter society that everybody's been trying to push on us, that the government's been trying to push on us. And we're the rebels that are going to take back our lives from the norm. And today I want to talk about something that's very crucial in life, very crucial in what you're trying to do, the goals that you're trying to attain. It's you cannot have the Reaper mentality. You cannot be a true alpha if you don't demand your respect. Demanding respect is something that if you never do, you will never live a truly peaceful life. You will never live a life to its full potential. And you will never be a Reaper. You'll never be an alpha. So what is respect? Respect is the due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, and traditions of others. Due regard. Respect is something that we all want. It's not something that we all tend to give at all times. And that's the first step in changing yourself as a Reaper and developing that alpha mentality. You respect everybody at all times. Using myself as an example, until you show me different, that I should not respect you, everyone receives the same amount of respect that I will give to everybody else. Regardless of age, gender, sex, whatever nothing. I show the same amount of respect to everybody because I demand that is given back to me. And as a Reaper, you need to demand that respect is given back to you, because you are an adult. You're a grown man or a grown woman. You're an individual who stands up on their morals. And if you're giving that respect to everyone else, you deserve to have that respect brought back to you. And a lot of times, the difference between an alpha male and a beta male, or alpha female and a beta female, is that the beta male, they want to avoid conflict. Everything is, I don't want to step on any toes. I don't get anybody mad. And, I'm just, I'm scared because he might get angry. And, my supervisor might get mad if I say something bad. No, fuck that. As an alpha male, as a Reaper, we're not out there picking fights, but we're out there demanding our respect and standing up for something that we believe in. If you're at work and your supervisor, let's say you're sitting down on a job, taking a break, resting your feet, and your supervisor walks by 3 or 4 other coworkers doing the same thing and points at you and tells you to get up, you're not going to curse him out. You're not going to punch him in the shit. We're going to be adults, respectful adults, and tactfully tell him, I don't appreciate that I'm being singled out when you just walk by all those other people sitting down. A beta male is not going to do that. Beta male is going to be like, oh, okay, no problem. I should say something, but, it's okay. And guess what? When he gets home that night, he lays down in bed after he brushes his teeth and takes a shower. What do you think is going to be on his mind? Damn, bro, he just walked by all those people. Why was I the only one that was singled out? It's going to be on his mind for a minute. It's going to be there. You know why? Because they say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. What does that mean? That means that every time that he backed down, every time that he didn't fight for what he believed in, every time that he never stood up for himself, It's always going to linger in the back of his mind, because as a human being, no one wants to be treated unfairly. Regard for the feelings, wishes, and rights. No one has a right to disrespect you. I tell you right now, I'm going to be honest with you, the way I live my life right now, the way I've been living my life these last couple years, I don't take shit off nobody. That's not to say that I pick fights with everybody. That's to say that if I feel that something's unfair, if I feel that I'm not being treated the same as everybody else, if I feel like you're being disrespectful in any shape, matter, or form, I'm going to look you in your eyes as an adult. I'm going to tactfully tell you that I don't appreciate what's going on and I want it to stop. And we're going to go from there. Now, if you guys don't understand the whole concept of tact, in the Marine Corps, they tell you if you have an issue with a higher up, they tell you to tactfully, which means just peacefully. You know, it's very calculated. You're not yelling. You're not cursing. You know, that's never going to get your point across. You tactfully pull them aside and you speak to them. And you tell them what you do not like. You tell them how you feel. And you guys try to come up with a solution. And if that solution is not brought up, if that solution is not found in that conversation, then you go above who it is you have that problem with. Right? And that's the way you need to go at every situation. Listen, I understand sometimes some things you can slide, right? Truth be told, me personally, the only time I let things slide is when people's talking shit, right? As long as it's not getting way too disrespectful, people gonna talk regardless. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, the fact that you got the heart to say it to me, you're not gonna say it behind my back, I give you a little bit of respect for that. I ain't even gonna sweat it. End of the day, you gotta kick facts. But I tell you right now, people can talk shit, but you kick some facts out there, everybody getting their feelings. Nobody want to hear the truth. A lot of people turn around and they say, you know, Nas beat Jay-Z with Ether and all that. Jay-Z was kicking facts. I don't gotta sit there and get my little book of insults and all. Nah, let's kick some facts. Let's be real about it. And not only am I gonna kick facts to you, guess what? I'm gonna win too. I'm gonna be successful. So that's how I look at it when people just talk shit. So I understand you just bypassing that, because at the end of the day, I could kick facts, I could let it go under the bridge, but either way I look at it, the best way for me to get back at you for talking shit is to be successful. There's no point in arguing with somebody. You know, there's no point in sitting back and trying to prove that you can be more outwitted. Fuck that. It's not even important. Leave that alone. But when it comes to respect, when it comes to fairness, don't ever let that go under the bridge. Ever. And you really don't understand the true value of it until you start to do it. Because when you start to do it, when you don't allow somebody to talk to you any type of way, when you don't allow somebody to be unfair, especially when they're in positions of power, when you don't have that fear in your heart and you can stand up to someone and tell them how you feel, especially when you can do it tactfully, because that shows being an adult. You know, in the past, when I was younger, one thing about me was I'll stand up for myself, but I'm a snap. I'm a cuss and I'm a throw. Nah. When you can do it as an adult, when you can look somebody in the eyes and calmly tell them what the issue is and how you feel and how you think it needs to be fixed, and you don't care if they're mad about it, you don't care if anybody else doesn't agree with you, you can stand on your own 2 feet as a man or as a woman and stand up for yourself. It feels great. I get into it almost every other day with my supervisor at my current job. But you know what? When I go home, I'm not laying up in bed like, damn, I should have said something. Damn, you know, nah. You know why? Because regardless of the situation, I'm going to speak back. Because if something's going wrong, at the end of the day, you got to learn how to stand up on your own 2 feet. And can't nobody sit there and fault you for standing up for yourself. And if you're sitting there, if you're at home right now, you're listening, you're kind of like, well, you know, what if I get fired? And put it like this, almost every job has an HR. As long as you're going in there tactfully, you're not cussing and threatening them and all this other crazy shit and that nonsense, more than likely you're going to get fine. You're going to be fine. You shouldn't get fired for your opinion. Especially you live in America. This is a very PC ass fucking place. If you get fired for your opinion, you ain't go to HR or talk to a lawyer, you're bugging. But also at the same time, let's keep it real. Let's be honest about this, right? Part of being an alpha male, part of being a reaper is having the confidence in yourself that you can always bounce back from any situation. Let me tell you something. Regardless of who I stand up to, even if I get fired tomorrow, I have all the confidence in my work ethic. I have all the confidence in my ability. I have all the confidence in myself that I can always bounce back and get another job or get a better job. Because I know at all times I'm always working to improve myself. So there's no reason for me to be scared to stand up for myself. And that's another thing that's gonna be an aspect of you becoming a reaper, is gaining that confidence. But for now, the first step to that is the man of respect. Let me tell you something. You will feel so much better about yourself when you stand up to somebody. And it's not just about jobs. It's about females. It's about, I mean, not females. It's about relationships. You know, if you're a female or a male, when you stand up to somebody who you think is not being respectful to you, if you sit there and you tell your significant other, man, I understand you going out, but at least call me if you're going to come in real late. You see what I'm saying? Or I don't expect you to be going out 4 or 5 times a night and staying out. And when they sit there and they do it anyway, when you have the pride and respect in yourself to tell them, you know what? That's cool. You don't want to listen, you can get the fuck on. Bye. Because I don't have time to be sitting here dealing with somebody who doesn't respect me. I don't have time to deal with somebody who doesn't respect my comfort level in this situation. If you don't respect me as an individual, then we don't need to be in a relationship. Bye. And watch how good you feel. Instead of every time your significant other does some bullshit and you just gotta sit there and take it, it's like, oh, you know, it's alright, you know, sometimes you gotta let shit go under the. No, fuck that. Again, insults, you know, little baby insults, like, you know, talking shit like back at the lunch table in school and shit like that. Nonsense like that, rumors, all that shit, yeah, that send that under the bridge. There's nothing. That holds no weight or value because there's no truth to it. But if you want to sit there and talk to me about respect, you want to allow, let me tell you something. If someone disrespects you once, they're going to do it again. And whoever witnessed you get disrespected, that's a green light for them to do it too. You're setting a precedent for the future of that relationship that you're having, whether that be a business relationship or an intimate relationship. That's the precedent right there. If you sit there and you are at if you're walking with your significant other and they see their ex or something like that, and they sit there and carry on a 30-minute fucking conversation in front of you while you just sitting there looking stupid, and you let that rock, guess what? Shit like that's gonna keep happening. She gonna have motherfuckers. She gonna be going on dinner dates with her boy best friend and shit like that, and you gonna be sitting there looking stupid. You know, sometimes you gotta let shit slide. Fuck that. Demand your respect. Don't carry no fucking 30-minute conversation in front of me with no what? You know what? That's the case. Bye. Go ahead, go back with him. I'll go find somebody else. Be easy. Demand that respect, man. Y'all know I love Malcolm X. Y'all know a Malcolm X quote was coming, especially on a topic like this. And one of my favorite Malcolm X quotes: if you're not ready to die for it, take the word freedom out your vocabulary. Think about that. If you're not ready to die for it, take that word freedom out. And what is freedom? Again, we talked about the freedom of mind. But we talk about a whole bunch of financial freedom, freedom of mind, freedom of just life. I'm a free thinker. Nobody can sit there and influence me to do something I don't want to do because I'm a free thinker. I demand respect because I have rights as a human being. If you're gonna do something with me and it's gonna be totally different with other people and we're all on the same level, that's not right. It's all about, sometimes, and it bugs me out too, because it seems like this generation, and I know I just had to talk about the disconnect between millennials and 80s babies, and I don't want to Again, I don't like harping in on the millennial generation, but it's just something about our age group, man, that just does not want to fight for nothing. Don't want to die for shit. And I know some of you guys are probably looking at the screen or listening, you're riding around, you're like, die for what? Why the hell would I want to die? Because what's the purpose of living this life if you're not going to stand up for nothing? What's the point? Everything that happens, you cowering, you tuck your tail between your legs and bow down. Every time somebody bucks. How can you, and it bugs me out because these same individuals who are like this, they're the first ones who want to talk about families and all this other shit. And then they wonder why their kids be wilding the fuck out because they don't got no respect for you, because you don't show no respect. It takes an individual with pride and respecting themselves to sit there and look at your child and be like, motherfucker, this is my house. You're not going to just do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know why? Because you demand your respect. Because you demand them to respect your house and your domain. And demand them to respect you as a parent because you take care of them. And guess what? When they get older, they're going to demand that respect from their kids. And they're going to demand that respect from anybody on the street because they understand that as a human being and as an individual, there's a certain level of respect that you need to be afforded. And that's one thing that my mother installed in me, was that you demand your respect. Nobody's allowed to disrespect you. Now, again, like I said, when I was younger, I went about it the wrong way. It was fight. You know what I mean? You do some nonsense, I'm going to punch you in your shit. You know what I mean? You don't disrespect me. That's past. But being an adult, being a true adult, being somebody who has control of their emotions, that is a reaper. That is somebody who can control their emotions and just demand their respect in a tactful way. And that's another aspect of it, is controlling emotions. Because I know a lot of you guys, if you're inspired by what I'm saying, you're going to want to go out there and you're going to snap. Boss come in, he starts snapping, he's talking to you like you a subhuman, you going to snap. No. You got to have control of your emotions. To be honest with you, whenever I buck, whenever I decide that I'm going to speak on something that I don't feel is right, a lot of times I take a breather. Or I'll just bring it up maybe like an hour later. I'll wait to tone it down. I like to pull people aside anyhow. Me personally, I'd rather not. I don't want to give you the satisfaction of being able to poke your chest out and show how tough you are, how in charge you are in front of everybody around you. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull you aside. So now you gotta look at me face to face as a man. Ain't nobody here that's gonna be on your side, that's gonna help you out. Nah, you gotta talk to me. You gotta own up to that bullshit. You gotta explain yourself to why you being disrespectful. That takes heart. And a lot of these people out here, let me tell you something, a lot of these individuals, whether you be in an intimate relationship or a business relationship, when people disrespect you, a lot of times they just doing it to test. They trying to see if you want to let it slide. When you let it slide, now they got the confidence to do it again. But when you nip that shit in the bud, the first time it happened, you kind of notice it's going to be one or two outcomes of that, right? You either going to have the butt hurt motherfucker that's going to, be in his feelings, he ain't going to want to talk to you no more, fuck him. They soft. You don't want that in your life, no way. Or you're going to have the individual that's going to look at you, especially if he's an individual who's an alpha, he's going to look at you with a little bit more respect. A lot more respect in some cases. You know why? They like, yo, you stood up for yourself. I respect that. And you did it in a tactful way. I had a situation about 2 years ago. I used to work at a job, and there was an employee that we was working with. He was annoying as shit. I didn't like him, but he kept touching me. And I'm an individual, I don't like people touching me in any type of... So I was like, yo, bro, like, I pulled him aside. I was like, look, I don't mean no disrespect, but I appreciate it if you didn't touch me as much. You know what I'm saying? It's not me being rude. It's just who I am as a person. And you know what he said? He said, yo, I respect you for being an adult and being mature about that and just pulling me aside and talking to me. And we got along fine after that. But that's what that breeds. Because men understand other men. It's not something that's easy. It's going to take you some time. But when you do it that one time, I promise you, that's the start to that confidence. I know a lot of people, if you look at some other podcasts and channels, they're going to tell you self-improvement's the first way. And that's the truth. Self-improvement will help a lot. But I got to tell you, it doesn't matter how hard of a worker you are. If you're still just allowing people to walk all over you, you're never really going to have that confidence. You're going to be timid. You're going to be scared to talk to anybody. I'm not. If I was a salesman, I'll walk up to anybody on this planet Earth. Comes a female, I'll walk up to anyone. It doesn't make me, because I have that confidence, and that a lot of that derives from the self improvement, but a large majority derives from demand and respect. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like that was something I was always on. Don't get me wrong. I always reacted to disrespect, but there was a period of time when I wanted to be peaceful and I didn't feel like fighting all the time, because I really don't like having to get into it with somebody all the fucking time. Well, I was like, you know what, man, it's not that serious. I gotta tell you, used to eat me up, eat me alive. You be in bed like, fuck, man, why was he talking to me like that, bro? Who do you think he is? And you just mad that you didn't say a word, and it just eats you up inside, and it builds up. And that's when motherfuckers get to fighting. Because you just sit back and you let it happen, you let it happen, you let it happen, you keep letting it go. And I understand, especially as black people, we in a different predicament, because everybody, especially if you work in an environment, a white environment, everybody's expecting you to be the angry black dude or the angry black woman. Or let me adjust that, the angry black woman or the thug, because they're going to call a black dude a thug. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, we hired a thug. I didn't even know he was like that. You know what I mean? This motherfucker got, dude could have fucking a master's degree in economics, but all of a sudden he's a thug now because he stood up for himself because you was talking crazy. It bugs me the fuck out, but that's legit how they act. But that's why I'm saying, if you can control your emotions, and again, when you pull a motherfucker to the side, I'm telling you, especially in those type of environments, they not gonna want those problems. You not even being threatening, you not cussing them out, you just talking to them as an individual. You looking them dead in their eyes. You got strong body language. You sitting up straight. I don't appreciate how this was conducted. I don't feel that I was being respected in this situation. You not snapping, you not cussing, you not doing none of that. Nah, we gonna be calm. You know why we gonna be calm? Because I don't need to go sick to prove my point to you. I could prove my point logically. I could prove my point tactfully. And you see the results from it. And again, you'll never be at true peace until you master this, because it's always gonna be, remember, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. And understand this, last time I'm gonna say it, man, a true reaper, a true alpha will always die for their respect and for their morals and their values. Because they understand that this life is not worth living if you're not willing to die for something. I'll die for my family. I'll die for my respect. I'll die for my morals. You know why? Because at the end of the day, yes, we only get one life to live, but I'd rather die than live this life scared. It makes no sense for me to run through life with my tail tucked between my legs, dipping and dodging every conflict that comes my way. No. And listen, and this goes with just your everyday life. And if in your everyday life the outcome becomes conflict because somebody doesn't like the fact you stood up to them, you gonna run? I gotta tell you right now, I grew up fighting, but I can't beat everybody. But understand this, I can't beat everybody. I won't back down from a soul. You know why? Because I'll die for my respect. I don't give a fuck if you a black belt jiu-jitsu or a fucking whatever you are. End of the day, I stand up for something. You could whoop my ass, but you know what? I'm gonna fight. And when y'all develop that mentality, that no one's ever gonna disrespect you, that no one's gonna ever test you, that you're gonna stand up for yourself, you're gonna feel so good. I'm telling you, it's gonna feel amazing. Because you took control of your life and of your situation. So then when it's time for you to chase that goal, right, and you start your own business, and you're at the negotiating table and you're talking with these individuals and they're trying to lowball you, tell you that your product is only worth this X amount that's way beneath what you think you is, guess what? You're not going to go for that. You're not going to sit there and lower the value of my product. No. I'm gonna stand up to you. That this is what I deserve. And you know what? If y'all don't like it, fuck y'all. I'll walk up out of here. That pride and that respect in yourself. That's where it comes from. So it's Devontae. This Reaper training, man. I hope this got y'all thinking. I hope it got y'all going. Again, the whole point of this podcast is to inspire and create reapers and create people with mentalities to be the best that they can be. I want all you guys to stand up for yourselves. I want all you guys to have morals and values. And I want you guys all, after this podcast, man, I want you to really sit back and think about what your morals and values are. Because surprisingly enough, you'd be surprised, well, you really don't know what your values are. Especially if you're an individual who doesn't have a family, well, not like a family, but like you're not raising a family. It's hard sometimes to figure out what your values are, because anybody who's raising a family could tell you, oh yeah, I'll die for my kids or something like that. That's just one. You want to die for anything else? Do you really fight for your respect? Do you value your religion? Do you value this? Like, understand what your values are, understand what your morals are, and I want you guys to really think about that. Write them down. And if you don't think you have any, I want you to start working towards it. Because I gotta tell you again, it's a cold world out here. If you're gonna have the reaper mentality, if you're gonna try to be an entrepreneur, if you're gonna try to be somebody who's gonna take control of your life because you don't want to be a worker bee, you gotta develop that now. Because I'm telling you right now, it's cold and it's hard and it's vicious. These people ain't playing no games. They're not showing no love. So it's Devontae's Reaper Training, the Reaper Motivation Podcast. I'll catch y'all next time. Keep fighting, Reapers.